In workflow module, we can build automation scenarios. To do this, we use different nodes which are responsible for connecting to external systems. So let's review the list of the nodes. So we can, for example, take cases or alerts from Energy SOAR instance. We can execute analyzers, we can execute responders, we can enrich incidents using data from CM or log management systems. We can also connect to ticketing systems such as Jira. We can enrich incidents with data grabbed from SQL databases. Also, we can use data transformations. We can get data from files. We can write data to file. We can build the entire workflow, merge multiple streams, split data in batches, use conditions, switches. We can execute nested workflows to use them in our new workflow that we build. We can also execute commands on the Linux system. If we don't have direct integration to desired system, we can use HTTP request node and select appropriate authentication method, provide URL, headers, query parameters to use API of the system that we want to integrate to. To execute entire workflow, we can use different type of nodes. For example, we can use interval or cron scheduler, or we can use modes which are called trigger type of nodes. And in trigger nodes, we select what events we want to track, for example, issue created or issue updated. And it will be the first node in our scenario. The workflow will work in listen mode. Then when new event will be created or updated, then we will execute the workflow automatically. So let's build a new workflow from scratch. On the other tab, I opened an event where we have web scanning activity detected. We have two observables in here, public IP address and hostname. And we want to analyze this IP address and take relevant action according to its reputation. So I've added here a training tag, and we will use this tag to analyze this event. So let's start from Energy SOAR base node. And in this node, we want to get cases. You can limit to 1 and provide filter, which will be our tag. To test it, we can execute a single node. As we can see, case number 651 is opened. So this is the same that we need. So let's save our workflow. And proceed with additional nodes. So the first one node will be called get cases. Then we can duplicate the node and we will use it to get observables from the case. So in resource, I select observable, get all, and I need to provide case ID. I can provide static value or use dynamic value to make it more generic. So let's select expression, node, get cases, output data, and here it is ID of the case. And let's proceed. So let's remove the limit, so return all and execute. Now we have two observables, IP address and hostname. And the node will be called get observables. Okay, now let's filter observables to use IP address for analysis. So I put here if node, and then I will use a condition to compare strings. So in the first value, I will use expression get observables and choose data type, and here is IP. And on the value, I'll provide IP. So let's run it. And on the true output, I have IP address. And on the false value, I have hostname. Also, I can add additional condition, for example, to check if the IP address is local IP address or public IP address. So I can use regex to compare this with the value I need to search. Okay, so we have here filter IPs. Now we want to analyze this IP address, so I will go to true line, and then we can duplicate this one, connect it here, and I want to execute analyzer. I need to provide observable ID, so I will go here, input data, and choose ID. Then I select data type, in this case is IP, and then I select analyzer. So for example, let's choose Dshield analyzer and execute the node. After a while, we will see the results, so we can validate if it is working properly. So in the meantime, I can change the name of the node, so analyze is fine. Okay, as you can see, we have report which includes information about analyzed object, so we can review it in the table or JSON. Okay, so let's add another node to get entire report which has reputation data. So let's duplicate this. Let's add another one, energy SOAR automation. And what do we need is job, get report, and we need to provide job ID, and we can find it in the nodes, analyze, and here is our job ID. Let's execute. Working great. So let's rename it to get report. All good. So let's add another node. We want to get reputation from this report and use this as tag value for observable. So here is reputation, and we want to add this at the tag. So let's duplicate this one, connect it here, and I will go over here to copy the value, copy parameter path is what do we need. Then we select update observable, ID is here, and now let's go to observable tags and provide expression here. It's malicious. So let's change also Okay. And let's execute the node. Success true. So let's go over here. Yeah, we have malicious tag over here. So I will change the name of the node to add observable tag. Okay, then let's do another condition. Here we want to validate if the object is suspicious or isn't suspicious. So when it is suspicious, then we increase severity of the case. If it isn't suspicious, then we close the case automatically. So to do this, we will compare strings one more time, and I'll put an expression over here. Here we have get report, full reputation, and the value malicious, and we will use regex to compare it with provided values. So we can write malicious, execute, and true is fine. We can also try with uppercase and lowercase. We can also add suspicious as value we want to track. So suspicious or malicious are the values we want to get here. So true has a value and false hasn't. So looks good. Let's change the name if malicious or suspicious. So if the object is malicious or suspicious, then we want to increase severity of the case. So let's use case resource, operation update. Then we need to provide case ID. So I will add another expression from the node get cases, and ID is what I need. And I want to change severity to high. Okay. And if the object isn't suspicious, we want to close the case. So let's duplicate this one and connect it here. We change severity to low, and let's choose status resolved. Okay, let's save it and try it one more time. So here we have severity medium, and after analyzing this object, we want to get additional actions. So let's execute the node and check the results. As we can see, the green marks indicates which path was chosen. So the object was suspicious and severity was increased to high level. Let's see. It was medium, now it is high. Also, we can add additional nodes to, for example, execute responder and block malicious IP address